Heya folks, welcome back to the Classic Hunter series. I stopped by Un'Goro to pick up some crystal charges, but while doing my Power Crystals quest, I passed a hunter who was hunting Simone. I offered Aspect of the Wild, but he kindly allowed me to attempt the demon in his stead. Given this unique opportunity, I gratefully accepted, so let's see what happens before we get on to actually leveling. Enjoy! Alright, so Simone is one of the easier rhok'delar demons to tackle. We'll be doing a kiting strategy with her today, although there is a variety of ways to kill her. I will go over those other ways later. For now, as you could see, I've opened on Simone with an aimed auto-concussive in order to trap Precious in the freezing trap. In the meantime, we want to kite Simone for as long as possible without slowing her. And the reason for this is because Precious is sticky. He will never drop off, not until Simone has died. Therefore, as long as we do not slow Simone at all, we can cover as much distance as possible while still dealing damage to her. Although we do want to keep away from her too, and that's why I just use Concussive Shot. Because if she gets too close to us, she'll drop a Temptress Kiss on us. And what that does is it reduces your ranged attack power by, well, an awful lot. It's certainly not what you want on a cut like this, because your auto shot is going to do the majority of your damage. Without it, we're going to be stuck with our Serpent Sting and other such things to do more damage. Simone also is capable of casting a Lightning Bolt, but it's very short range, much like Temptress Kiss. So, if she does start casting it, as long as we're kiting, there's the Temptress Kiss. We can simply walk out of her range. It is good to be ready to toggle Cheetah off, though, in case she does actually manage to get it off. It is instant. It's not really a bolt as much as it is just the lightning itself. Bzzzt. And there's Precious. There's the dog. He's a good boy. He's staying with his mistress, chasing us down. And he's gonna catch up eventually, but we're ready for him. With Temptress Kiss going, we're doing very, very significantly reduced auto-shot damage. But that's fine as long as we keep kiting. Because our mana is going down slower than her HP. Remember what we talked about in episode 43. If your mana is going down faster than your target's HP, if your intent is to kite the target to death, then you've got to conserve your mana just a little bit better. Temptress Kiss has at last fallen off, so that will certainly help with our damage purposes, but this fight is about to change up. Precious is catching up to us. Believe me, he's catching up. And Simone is pretty easy to keep away from. You can let her stop to cast her Lightning Bolt. There is one problem with that, though. If you're in range for the Lightning Bolt, you're generally also in range for the Temptress Kiss, which was just reapplied, and as you can see, she tried to cast Lightning Bolt at the same time. We gotta keep Precious at bay with our slows, while we keep Simone on us in the way that we've been doing. So I'm gonna fire my Scatter Shot out, which misses, unfortunately. Simone has stopped again, and the more she does that, the greater the gap will be. And we really do not want Precious that close to us. Parry, parry, finally the Wing Quip goes off. And we gotta keep pinging Simone with the Rank 1 Arcane Shot. We gotta keep Simone on us. We cannot allow her to stop so often. Or Precious is just gonna stay on us this entire time, and that's certainly not going to help us stay alive and finish this fight. It also does not help that my mana is looking significantly lower, especially now that I need to keep spamming my slow attacks on Precious. Wing Quip is extremely effective in this case. It's long lasting, but the only downside is that you do need to be in melee to use it, so really try to keep using your Concussive Shot, Scatter Shot, etc. to keep Precious at bay. If he does get too close to you, Wing Quip and keep away. It turns out that he does not hit so hard, so terrifyingly hard as I recall anyway. So he's okay. Actually, I found something out the other day. about Simone on Official Classic. You know how on like Light Soap, her lightning bolt would do what, 1,000 damage, 1,500? Well, here on Official Classic, apparently, I was not hit by it, but I've heard that it causes like 150? 150 damage. It's actually pathetic. If true, that is. I don't recommend trying to get hit with it, not unless you're playing around, but just saying. So if you have done this on private servers, you're in for a very smooth ride on Official Classic, I'm happy to say. Or perhaps sorry to say, you know, if you enjoy this quest. Anyway, the fight has changed up once again. Simone is slower than usual because her HP is low, which means Precious is impossible to run away from while also keeping on Simone. So we're going to pop deterrents and finish off Simone. I'm going to try to auto-shot between his auto-attacks because we cannot dodge an attack while casting auto-shot. And Simone is down, but we're totally out of mana, so I just gotta wait a minute and feign death. And voila! That is how you Simone. Or the kiting strat, anyway. I'm very grateful to my friend here for allowing me the opportunity to carry out this fight. It was a lot of fun. But now let's get on to actually questing, shall we? We've got this here Crystals of Power quest. We gotta turn in 7 of each kind of power crystal. But the only important ones, the ones that you gotta stop and pick up every time, are the red and yellows. Or, you know, keep an eye out for them on the auction house. You can buy them on the Age, and if you are farming DMT, even just a little bit, you should be able to afford plenty of them. They're very cheap. First, we've got to complete this small quest chain. The Northern Crystal Pylon is the important one, and it's very close to Marshall's Refuge. We simply inspect it for this quest, and it's located right here. Let's pick up that red power crystal along the way and head on to the Eastern Crystal Pylon, which again we inspect. And once again, here's the map. It's located right here. Now here's the Western Crystal Pylon. Further west even than the place where we killed Simone. Or kited her. Or both, I suppose. And this is where it's located on the map. Now that we've done all that, we can safely return to J.D. Colley and deliver our reports. Here you go, friend. Turn in that. Turn in that. And as you can see, they are worth quite a bit of experience each. A bunch of experience for just running around. This is the final quest. The quest that unlocks the pylons for our use. And you don't need to keep the manual. You can use the pylons even without it. But it is nice to have a look at if you're unfamiliar with the pylons and what they do, because, well, I regard the Northern Pylon as the important one, but all of them have some sort of benefit. All of them are capable of creating things for you. The thing that we're concerned with is the crystal charge. I've got plenty of red and yellow power crystals, and these things make crystal charges. And what the crystal charges do is they blow things up. They are explosives. Notably, they are the most powerful dynamite type explosive in the game, and they do not require engineering to use. So you can use them for everything from AoE in dungeons to comboing them with a Raptor Strike in PvP for insane damage. People will not expect the crystal charges, and you can have enough of these things to hand them out like Halloween candy. I certainly brought plenty of power crystals exactly for that purpose. After we do a little bit of questing here, we're going to stop by BRD. But for now, we gotta pick up some dinosaur bones, we gotta pick up some Diametrodon scales, and some blood petals. And I see there is a flower right over here. So let's go poke it. Let's go have Raptor poke it, and we'll follow along. And hello there. That is a random drop off anything in the zone. Kinda rare, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Let's toggle Cheetah off also, before we get dazed. Sorry, I was just a little bit distracted by the book there. And I see a red power crystal over there, so we're gonna head in that direction. And I keep interrupting my auto shot. My bad. This weapon is new to me, so I'm just a little bit new to it. And that right there is why it's useful to know how multi-shot works. I could have hit all three if I wanted to, or if I were mistaken about what I was shooting. But instead, I hit the center target, it chained to the one that my pet was holding, and then it did not chain to the third. I can go ahead and loot this crystal without being bothered, and in the meantime Raptor can grab that one when I'm ready, which is right now. After I've claimed my prize, the red power crystal. Maybe you don't want to pick those up when you're 60, but if you're questing through the zone, just make sure you stop for those. They will certainly rack up. You could either sell them or... Actually, you could sell any of the power crystals. So if you're after them for money, go ahead and pick them all up. But the red and yellow ones, though, if you want those for your explosives, make sure you stop for those. It's never easy to afford things while you're leveling up, but after you hit 60, you can go ahead and buy whatever you need off the auction house. And what do you need? It's the red and yellow power crystals, of course. Here on Herod PvP, they range between, what was it, 10 and 20 silver each? So they're not bad. They're certainly affordable. You just need a lot of them for each turn-in. 10 yellows, 10 reds for each, for every 6 crystal charges. Now, Zai over there is my guildie, and she has whispered me about doing jailbreak, which is part of the Onyxia quest. And for you Horde out there, I have no idea if you Horde have to deal with this, but we Alliance, we have to escort a painfully painful and incredibly tedious quest NPC through Blackrock Depths in 2 big circles for no particular reason other than I guess he wants to free some friends and some enemies, beat up the enemies, save his friends. I get that, but they probably could have made it easier on us, couldn't it? In any case, we'll get to that when we get to that. In the meantime, I am going to keep killing these Diametrodons, keep killing these flowers, and we'll see what we can do to gather up some other quest items before we have to go. This Diametrodon needs to die. It's very, very low. So, there we go. That was a nice Raptor Strike crit, maybe just a little bit of overkill. But I'm not complaining, it's dead. I can have Raptor go get that one, and in the meantime we can align these two just right, so that I can multi-shot them both. Now this one's on me. So how about we toss out a crystal charge? That's always pleasant, always useful, always fun. Raptor is just a little bit low, so I'm gonna leave him there for a moment while I get poisoned a little bit, and we'll just white swing at this fellow. I suppose Raptor can come back onto him now. I don't think he'll poison the secondary target. Once we finish this off, I do need to turn in the remainder of my red and yellow power crystals, just as soon as I clear out this Pterodax. These things are also on my to-kill list. They are quest mobs. The normal ones only appear in strange areas all over the sides of the zone. There are some pockets of them in the center south of Un'Goro, but we'll get to those later. For now, I have turned in what red and yellow power crystals I had, and as you can see, we got 18 more crystal charges. And hello there, Devil Sore. Just gonna rank 1 arcane shot that blood petal. I just want the blood petal. If you see a devil store, stay the heck away. Not necessarily because they're dangerous, but because the people following them are dangerous. You know, their leather is very, very sought after, and I happen to be ex-cartel. And I know very personally that the cartel is extremely obsessed with claiming the coveted leather of devil stores. So if you're spotted nearby them. Moving on though, we do have a number of other quest items to grab, like the one right here, all throughout Un'Goro. Our next stop will be the wrecked rowboat on the southeast side of the zone. It's the quest that begins the Lincoln chain, and it could be worth doing. It gives you a nice little trinket that could disarm people. Could, does not always. And you can find that right here. The follow-up is just in the water. Once you pick this up, you get the quest to go back to Marshall's Refuge, where you can find Lincoln and do things for him to get his boomerang. The research equipment, the other half of the other quest that we were doing, is located right about here. Total opposite end of the zone from the other item for that very quest. And the last thing that we gotta grab is the gunk from inside the Silithid Hive. Hello there, fellow hunter. And for this, we just go to the middle of this here room and use the vial. Leave me alone. The dumb bugs are trying to interrupt me from getting the hive wall sample from anywhere other than the wall. I'm not even doing anything. You'd think you'd scrape the hive wall sample from off the wall. But no, you gotta go to the middle of that room. Because, I don't know, Blizzard scripting, I guess? No, that's just the way the quest is. Anyway, we're moving on to Blackrock Depths now, and we gotta be attentive to gankers in the Syrian Gorge, because they are commonplace. They are everywhere. Moving up along the side like this gives us the opportunity to scout out the zone a little bit. And I see someone on the tracker right there. Turns out it's a friendly. So we'll move right past him, parachute cloak down here. Seems that there's no one here. We are in the clear. Let's drop a freezing trap preemptively in the doorway, because this was very likely to happen. Hello. We're just gonna move over this way. And go on, walk into the trap. Thank you. My lily root has ensured that we're a little bit healthier, and a concussive shot helps, just in case the trap breaks early for some reason. He has broken out of mine, but luckily our group mate was just behind me. So he was double trapped. And in the meantime, we can safely proceed on to the entrance to Blackrock Depths, while keeping an eye on whatever's behind us, or whatever may not be behind us. Yeah, he doesn't want none. He's totally gone. I'm gonna give him a little tease. I'm gonna shout at him. Brr. Although it does seem that we're about to come into some more action. Let's go heck up the casters. We gotta run in and Raptor Strike all the things, although I just Raptor Strike the mob. Crystal Charge. Get that Warlock. Ah, but he popped the Void Sack. He's gonna get in. Oh well, whatever. We can go in ourselves and actually get started with the killing. The killing of things. Although our mage has not yet buffed us up, so I'm gonna go back there and poke him. I need my intellect. Anyway, we're gonna get on with killing the dwarves here. Blackrock Depths is one of my favorite dungeons. It's a massive city. It is literally a city. Except it's a dungeon that is also a city. So it's pretty impressive in size and scale, I think. It has its wide open corridors, or its wide open areas, and the very tight corridors. It has its non-elites and its elites. And we will have our fun. Because we have two hunters here who are very capable, and a mage to assist in our AoE. Remember, hunters deal extremely strong ranged burst DPS against single targets. And hello there, Bladestorm Proc. But mages, they are excellent AoE damage. So with hunters and mages in the same group, we have all the bases covered. We can insta-gib a specific target and AoE the rest. Not that we intend to insta-gib specific targets. No, our tank's just here for the formality. We are here, in the meantime, to actually AoE everything. We're gonna yeet the entire dungeon. I don't know what yeet means, but it seems to mean be reckless. And look at our other hunter here, who's shooting the thing on me while I shoot the thing on her. That is something that I like to see. I love it. Thank you very much, kiddo. Anyway, back onto the subject of jailbreak. There has never been a more painful or pointless escort path in the entire game. Ever created for the game. I swear. You gotta clear out these 2 rings of tightly packed trash mobs in order to secure the path for Windsor. But even considering how tedious this quest is, we are going to have some fun, aren't we? We're going to try for that multi-shot, only hit 1 target because our mage was faster on the corner gold. These mobs go down pretty easily between the mage's AoE and our focused burst on the elites. We hunters are just gonna insta-gib the elites. And the mage can whittle down all the rest. We can certainly help though, with our crystal charges, with our explosive traps, and hopefully with a blade storm at some point. But of course that is between multi-shots only. And Zai is a guildie. She has no complaints whatsoever about healing me, no matter what I ask Paul, no matter what I do. We are friends. Ah, finally we get a blade storm proc. You know, although it is a good idea to go into melee if there are 3 or more targets, and not a good idea to go into melee if there are 3 or less, yes, there is a little bit of an overlap. You also do need to take into account the HP of the mobs. If you're fighting mostly elites, that's fair game. But if you have non-elites, you might as well skip them. Don't even count them. They will go down too quickly for Blade Storm to be that much of a benefit. But when it comes to elites, specifically, they'll certainly last long enough for you to get some good use out of the Blade Storm. We're gonna go spiking up in that damage now. And I'll back up to auto multi, or multi-auto rather. And nice double ding. We're getting there, we're getting up to 60 very soon. Anyway, next pull. I have cast auto shot, and that is not conducive to casting the aim shot, so I'm just gonna rapid strike, feign death, drop an explosive trap, might as well, and stay on the other side, going into a multi-auto volley. Multi-auto because feign death causes delay on auto shot for some reason. Very lovely dead zone shot right there on all 3 targets. And now we're on to the next pack. On this one, I initiated with an aimed auto multi because we had the opportunity to precast. And remember, if you come into a fight late, like if you just got up from drinking or something, then you go into that fight with an auto shot. You start with an auto shot because the fight has already begun. But if the mobs are not pulled yet, you can keep precasting that aim shot and let it fly out as soon as the tank charges in, or as soon as the mobs are pulled by someone, whoever that may be. Like I said, the tank's here for a formality. My good friend Zai will deal with it and like it, because that's how things are. Here we got a whole bunch more, some elites, some non-elites, a couple of non-elites. The Bloodhounds. Although it seems the elites are melting about as quickly as the non-elite did. We gotta keep in the line of mobs so that we can continue to do our melee ranged alternating of attacks shenanigans. Never want to be perpendicular to the line of mobs. You want to be in the line of mobs. somewhere along the line. Let's drop an explosive trap right here. When it comes to the non-elites, the really squishy mobs, although Bladestorm is unreliable and therefore you can't really depend on it for damage on non-elites, you can most certainly use very responsive instant attacks like explosive trap or like crystal charges in order to get out all the damage that you would like to dish out before those non-elites go down, and they will go down very quickly in a group like this. On this pack, we've opened with a nice aimed auto multi-combo, and while our other hunter friend is dropping frost traps, I can drop my empowered explosive traps. And they are empowered by the Clever Traps talent, which improves their damage. It can make it more effective than volley in this situation, so that's certainly worth noting. These non-elites are going down very quickly to our mage friend, so no opportunity really for the multi-shot. I mean, I might have gotten one off there, but I was also kind of out of mana. So we've recovered from the state of being We've not gotten a name shot off because of dead zone shenanigans. We came into the fight just a little bit too late, but that's all right because we have a Bladestorm proc. And that will make up for some of this. I break it a little bit early to get the multi-shot off there. We'll step away from this one to scatter auto and raptor this last one. Never mind. Just auto attack that last one to death. Now we're making a little detour into the dog's room in order to pull the entire room for fun. We've got 2 explosive traps down. I have a landmine. Raptor has died, but that's okay. He's used to it by now. After episode 25, he's very much used to it. That worked like a charm. That was extremely clean. I am expecting our tank to taunt the boss here, but it must have been resisted somehow. He's doing what he can to hamstring the boss, and that's all we can hope for. The taunt has finally gone off, so the boss goes down. And now we're on to the main path again, the thing that we're actually supposed to be doing. We got a nice little shot combo off right there. Just in time for things to start dying. We only have these 2 elites left, so we'll dash in and out of the melees for the auto shots, for the raptor strikes, and of course the multi-shots in between. No aim shot on this pull, just an auto multi, a simple auto multi. I've counter-attacked that mob that was on me, so that it will stay there where I need it to be. We were unable to chain multi-shot across all 3 there. Kinda hard to aim when I could not see the 3rd target. But I'll counter-attack this one again, and that one's dead, so we can go ahead and shoot this one now. This has been a short little chain pull, or chain kill. We can see the central area again at last. A pack with a couple of fire lords in the way stands in our way. And the fire lords are nice and squishy. They tend to lack armor, so I certainly want to shoot at them as much as possible. I've gotten the explosive trap off on the dwarves, though. They're the only ones that can be affected by it. And in the meantime, that fire lord is gonna sit right there while I alternate attacks between this here dwarf. And well, they're both dead now, so that didn't last too long. And by the way, you may have noticed that we hunters have been double marking. And there is actually a reason for that. It's for the multi-cleave, because the more targets that are marked, the more opportunity we get to multi-shot. And by the way, that was the first of 2 loops. So buckle up, we ain't done yet. This is the 2nd loop we're going down now, and we're gonna see what we can do to make it even shorter than the first. It's certainly full of less shenanigans. No dog boss. No random rock boss on patrol. Honestly, who thought of that? Putting a boss on patrol. Never mind, I suppose it did work out. We can multi, raptor, scatter, and on to the next targets. With a nice little aimed auto multi start to that. No explosive trap, because our feigned death did not work, but a little crystal charge made up for it. A dead zone shot, an auto swing, a scatter and raptor to finish that one up. That was a neat little combo. Our hunter friend is pulling them back into traps whenever possible, which is certainly appreciated. And this, however, is not appreciated. This net that I'm stuck in. I do not have my PvP trinket up, so I'm just kind of stuck where I am. Or at least I was stuck until it wore off. There's one more warden over here. But now that it's a single target, we're going to stay at range. Or we're going to try to, or we would be at range if it did not decide to run in on our hunter friend. Like I said, our tank is kind of here for formality, but if there's one target, as long as he can keep the one target in place, that'd be ideal. This little patrol is only 2 bloodhounds and a single elite, and they've melted pretty much immediately. Now we're going on to an actual pull here, kind of. It's mostly non-elites, but this is a very lovely Bladestorm proc. This is a very rare opportunity to actually get some damage in here. I was looking to drop an explosive trap, but I never got the chance. As you can see, the non-elites went down incredibly fast, and that's why you normally don't get to see the Bladestorm on a pack like that. That's why it's not reliable. You know, if you get the very lucky proc on the very first swing, sure. Otherwise, only go into, say, drop the explosive trap. Drop a crystal charge, you know, that kind of thing. Raptor strike that one that gets close. Let's multi-shot when they get close. And that's why you wait on it for a moment, because you can nab all 3. And you might as well nab all 3 if you get the chance. We're almost halfway around the way now. There is one more boss along the way, but she is very squishy. Not quite like the rock boss. I mean, the rock boss was kind of squishy. The dog boss was too, but, you know, tougher than the other elites. This boss is kind of like a normal elite, except it's a boss. So I guess it's nice. Nice for us. We have no opportunity to pop off that multi-shot. I was looking for one there, but things just kept dying all around me. We were left only with the thing that I was in melee with, that I was seeking to chain onto. Here's where the boss is, but first we gotta clear out this here pack. And it looks like we got a Bladestorm proc. A happy Bladestorm proc with 4 elites. So that's a very nice nice time, nice position. Let's step out and get the multi-shot off. And Raptor Strike to finish that fight off. This one warden on patrol is, well, he's kind of odd. Usually they have a couple of dogs with them. But nope, he's just by himself. And now we're on the boss. The kind of sort of boss that is more like a normal elite. There's Kino's frost trap, and we have already dropped our explosive trap. And I might have dropped another, but we got a Bladestorm proc. Although it's a little bit late for that, so I'll just scatter to break the Bladestorm, and that'll be that. We're on the home stretch now. A nice little aimed auto multi combo to start on this here pack. With only 3 mobs. We can chain the multi onto 2 targets. For some reason it did not hit that 3rd. The Torturers might have smaller hitboxes than I expect. The Dwarves are pretty reliable so far. I'm netted again, but all these mobs are Novad with me, so let's go ahead and drop an explosive trap. Try to get that dead zone shot off. It is successful. And a double auto to finish this pack off. Now we're on to yet another pull with a lot of doggos. Our other hunter friend is using volley at the moment, but we can add our own damage in with a crystal charge. And now that Feign Death is off cooldown, we can drop that explosive trap. And like I said, those non-elites go down in no time. It's a pity that we're almost out of packs. You know, I actually do like the clear sometimes. It may be tedious for some, and indeed it is a tedious clear. But you know what? It's also fun to just go killing everything in this sort of fashion. This is wild, this is fun, this is exactly what I like to do. That was a nice little dead zone shot right there. We'll throw in a crystal charge, and we'll finish these other targets off at range. I mean, we kind of have to since we're stuck. Not anymore. You can go in for that Raptor Strike. This is one of the last packs that we got to... Well, that we're pre-clearing. There are some more packs that will spawn during the quest itself, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Because this escort quest not only demands that you clear out, or pre-clear, a ton of elites and some non-elites that are actually pretty hard-hitting, but it also throws some elites at you during the quest itself, so, you know, good luck, I suppose. Like I said, it's a very difficult quest in certain regards. Not necessarily difficult as in challenging, but difficult as in boring. Terribly, terribly boring. Now, if we had started this during the clear, that might have been more fun. I would love to fight a whole bunch of mobs with Windsor here, and indeed, after he gets his armor, he does provide a buff to the whole group that increases your melee haste, I believe. So that could be pretty cool, actually, to do this quest while the haste buff is going. Who knows how that would turn out? I imagine it would be pretty intense and pretty fun in an all melee group with like 2 warriors, a rogue, and maybe a Ravager hunter, because why not? Why not? It also buffs the pet. But anyway, we've got to go around freeing his friends, killing his enemies, because he says so, I suppose. See, that dwarf is a friend. He just hacks off as soon as we free him. But this guy will decide to go walking in on an entire room of enemies, and oh my gosh, there actually are quite a few in here. I'm gonna drop an explosive trap, and my deterrence is down now, so I can't really do anything more to dodge these things. I try to get one tick of volley off, but it doesn't quite work. I try to funnel out of the room, but I'm also too late on that. We did not expect that there would be so many of them in there, and our mage is down too. Our warrior has popped shield wall already. That is down. I'm not sure about challenging shout. I think that was down from earlier somewhere. Warrior is down. Druid is going down. Our other hunter is the only one left up who can put up any fight, and I know that she can best put her burst damage to use by fighting the low mobs. We can best save this run by killing the weak and then slowly whittling down the strong. Luckily, there are a lot of weak mobs left. Or rather, luckily all the mobs that are still up are weak. So it seems that our hunter is having some luck with getting them down. She's already taken quite a lot of them. And I'm eager to see if she can take out this last one. I think she can. She gets the wing clip off. She's gonna kite down that way. I suppose we can... I suppose we should release and try to get back here as soon as possible. A fantastic effort by our hunter. Many apologies for yeeting into that room and hecking up this run. Unfortunately, despite her heroics, we did actually need to do this all over again. So that was kind of screwed up. And this right here is the reason why. As you could see, he was supposed to stop in front of this door and ask the players to open it after he gets his armor and patrols all the way over here. But instead, while we were running back from the graveyard, the mobs just walked right out of the room. And Kino was unable to hold them off for long enough so that Windsor could survive. It seems to be the same exact way for every single one of these hostile doors, by the way. Except, for some reason, the supply room. Windsor will just waltz on into the supply room and aggro the mobs normally in there. But these mobs, they'll come clipping through the doors. Because Blizzard scripting, I guess. To be fair, this quest was kind of broken on every server. But what's Blizzard's excuse, huh? I don't mind doing it again. I'm cool. We got plenty more XP that way. I'm happy with all the XP. I'm not certain my group was very pleased with it. But this was the very last thing that we had to do. We just had to talk to that human, get him to go, and now Windsor says he thinks he knows the way out. Finally, he starts to run. He runs for the exit only after everything that we've done. So, that was it for Jailbreak, and I suppose that's it for today, folks. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode, from the 56 Simone kill to the shenanigans in Blackrock Depths. If you did, please show me by kindly dropping a like down below. Share this vid too, cause the more the merrier. If you haven't already, it'd help me immensely if you were to subscribe and click that bell icon for notifications so you never miss a new upload. I love bringing new content to you guys, so I hope you love seeing it just as much. Don't forget to check the description for more links, such as a skip list if you ever want to revisit parts of this episode. As always, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!